village meets with. Among those villages, there is a Coptic one, Coptic family buried with among the Muslims. It was something that we don't see very often, and probably people will refrain from doing that because of religious reasons or what have you. But my story here with this Coptic family, you can see the tradition and the cultures superseded the religious imperative and the religious restrictions, and eventually a value and culture and tradition prevails and was allowed to the Christian family to be buried among the Muslims. But I was intrigued by the story since I was living in Minneapolis, and I found also the Muslim cemetery. They have a section with the Christian cemetery there. Muslims can live anywhere they want. They have the social mobility here in the United States. It's not unlike Europe. To be buried in a section, in a remote section in a Christian cemetery. You dug out the grave. It's underground, and you can see the dirt how they came out. And they are ready for the burial today. But before they do that, they have to build a cement coffin inside. That's a permanent cement for health reasons. But you can see the proximity. It has to be a certain distance and it has to be in a certain position. So you have to be facing north to east when you lower the body in the ground. Everything has to be underground, and there is some ritual how we do it. We're going to talk to the head of the Islamic Center in Burnsville.
Special Islamic cemetery for Muslims. Well, this is the first cemetery we had.
Yeah.
It's almost full now. We have only 200 or 300 lots available in Roseville. We buried 700 people over there. 700. This cemetery here is 8 acres, can accommodate to 6,000 Muslims here.
Good. You know, the spirit you are giving me on how the dead Muslim and Christian live together is not even found in how live Muslim and Christian live in, the post 9/11 and all.
This is the people which they have this perception, but this is wrong perception because we are open here for anybody.
Living as a Muslim minority there in the United States, I've never thought of the Coptic family here in my village, growing up with them as Coptic, as minority. It was just friends or neighbor, what have you. And so the connection, I see myself in him as a minority living in a village, and I was a minority, and I want to see, did we have the same experience? But I never looked at him as a minority. I never tried to understand how he feels as a minority. And I think that was been neglected. And I'm sure he was a minority. I'm sure he has some feeling about it, but never been discussed, never been talked about. So as a minority living in the United States for more than 25 years, and I just came to mind, what would it be like for them living in a majority village? I try to kind of imagine what's like being a minority Coptic living in a village, in my village. So that's why I start digging into that story, try to find out what actually happened.
اسرائيل، لكن مش زعلانه من امريكا في حد ذاتها كدوله. بالعكس امريكا متقدمه في كل حاجه وعايش فيها وناس اذكياء
So for me, coming back here after all years, it's almost, I come here as a visitor, and I feel like I'm out of place, but
السيد افندي العدوي. يا اهلا وسهلا. حسام ولا مين؟
انا ثروت.
انت ثروت، اهلا وسهلا.
انت مين؟
انا السيد ابو معروف اخو عبد المعطي.
اهلا بيك.
اهلا.
انت عارف بيتنا القديم قوي؟ هو زي الشارع ده.
في الشارع ده هو.
انا عرفته بقى بعد 40
على
سنة.
شمالك اهو.
اتفضلوا يا جماعه.
Yeah, this is one of our neighbors here. شكرا. السلام عليكم. And he recognized my house that I couldn't. So that's a good sign. مفيش حاجة تتغير ها؟
لا دي ده انا ادم اللي بيتغير. انا ادم اللي بيتغير.
اخبارك ايه؟ اخبارك ايه؟ اهلا وسهلا. كله اهي. So this is exactly what it used to be probably 50, 60 years ago.
مولود هنا.
And I was born in this house.
علي
ما هي من هنا.
انا من هنا.
يعني انت عارفه البيت ده؟
امال ايه؟
انت كنت قدك صغيره بقى؟
انا كنت صغيره بس كبير.
امال ايه ثروت؟
اهلا ثروت كمان. ده متحدد يعني. اهلا بيك. ايه ده انت صغير؟
كنت عايز اشوفك على طول دايما والله.
مش فاتحه بينك وبيني. Just raise animals and birds and chickens. Wow, look at that. Oh my God. The bathroom is still here. Probably the same thing. Oh my goodness. The wood stove outside of the oven. This is where you cook your rice and Allah. Amazing. ها؟ لا بس لما يكون يعني الخشب طبيعتها والقعدة يعني can you imagine 6-8 people sitting around us. To the Christian family to be buried among the Muslims, and throughout these years, in the last 50-60 years, there was no single retaliation for the Coptic family, and as you can see, that's his name, and you can tell right away his name is the Coptic name, Kyriakos, and he died 1962. Interesting. The only difference in this Coptic that the Coptic when they die, they face the Holy Land, and the Muslim will face Mecca. Part of the grave, as you can see, this is my dad, and this is an aunt, other side, and this is my grandfather. What the villages, how that story changed throughout this generation and that village. You know, you talk about 60, 70 years old story. There was a debate, there was a discussion, there was opposition. Like in my family, will be the younger generation debate the older generation.
العادة دي كانت عادة واحدة بالنسبة لها. قرياقوس. فيجوا بقى ايه ادوني حتة هي في آخر الطرق.
يعني ازاي الناس مسيحيين يبنوا تراب مع في وسط المسلمين في الحتة دي؟
هو حرام بنيان التراب المسيحيين في وسط المسلمين؟
انها هي موجودة في مقابر الناس قرايبنا يعني الاموات بتوعنا احنا.
وقرياقوس كان ايه يعني يعتبروا شكل المسلم كده، واخد بالك، وكانت الناس بتحبه وهو كان بيحب الناس، وولاده برضه طلعوا برضه الناس كانت بتحبهم وهم بيحبوهم واصحابه.
يعني الدفن المسيحي في ثقافه مسلمه ما كانش يتم في عائله ثانيه.
لا ان اطيب جنس او اطيب عيله، ولا طبعا عيله مش يعني فرد، لا يعني جنس كشعب بتاع العيله هم عيله المهاره دول.
انا بقى عايش معاهم امي هم لهم دين ولا دين.
موضوع الدين ده مش اساسي قوي عندهم يعني مش فارق عندهم. هم كانوا حريصين قوي على ان هم يكسبوا ود الناس وود البلد ويبقى في علاقات اجتماعيه طيبه.
كان كويس يعني، وانا كنت اصلا غاوي الصيد، فده يمكن دي برضه من الحاجات اللي حبيتني فيه.
قرياقوس كان نظامه بقى، كان عنده بندقيه وكان بيطلع يصطاد الثعالب ويصطاد الطيور، ولو في ديابه في الغيط الديابه كانت بتيجي هنا تفحر وتطلع العيال الصغيره دي، واخد بالك، كان هو بموتها. دي كان حبه البلد والبلد كانت بتحبه.
انا اعتقد ان هم عرفوا ازاي يأقلموا نفسهم مع البلد.
ضاعت اكتر من 200 في البلد. ليه؟ السبب بقى انا عرفت بعدين لما كبرت، لكن علشان احنا في الاسلام لو واحد رضع من واحده غير امه بتعتبر اخ وولادها من الرضاعه، وما ينفعش يتجوز.
عادي خالص.
معاهم مهن بيمارسوا مهن ثانيه غير الفلاحه
يدويه،
يعتبروا هم يعني شيء خارج عن البلد، يعني حاجه مش البلد ما بتشتغلش الشغل اللي هم بيشتغلوه.
هي كانت متحرره جدا طبعا، احنا كنا لسه طلبه فلاحين، فهي يعني متحرره جدا في علاقتها. يعني كان حته انها تتكلم ولد وتتكلم الكلام ده كان عندها عادي خالص، يعني كانت بالنسبه لنا متحرره.
يعني تسامح من زمان. يعني لو كان مثلا هو نشأ على العصبيه يبقى اكيد ابوه كان عصبي وكان بيربيه على انه يكره النصرانيه.
حسام لما كان في معهد التكنولوجيا المطريه اللي هو بعد الثانويه العامه ب4 سنين، كان كل اصحابه مسيحيين.
بيتوزع لهم، هم بقى ابتدوا يقلدونا، واخد بالك، بيتوزع عليهم لحمه، ابتدوا يقلدونا في اعياد معينه عندهم يقوموا ذابحين ويدوا برضه للمسلمين ايه؟ والله العظيم ولا كده.
My uncle said he didn't hurt us when he was alive. Why would he hurt us when he dies? And I think that's really sum up the whole story.
ارسم امل بسام ونرسم حضاره ومدن وابرك حمام وامان. لو جيت في يوم ارسمك ارسم امل بسام ونرسم حضاره ومدن وابرك حمام وامان. والغيط هيفرح